Department of Health also hacking into Jakarta, which is where Obama spent part of his childhood. And evidently, and I think, as we put the whole story together, and you'll see the whole story, it was very clear that there was no Obama legitimate birth certificate in Hawaii, and the CIA was on the process of either searching for one that existed or getting ready to forge the one that was ultimately released.
That's right. And if you go to the article, there's a section that says CIA breaches Hawaii government computers and Obama birth certificate quest. Sheriff Opire and Chief Investigator Zullo have identified in the database the following breaches. And you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different breaches that were made by IP addresses traced back to the CIA. And some of these, as you have it outlined on your article, they trace the IP data paths through servers located in Jakarta, Indonesia, that were also being run by the CIA at the time those breaches were executed.
Yeah, I mean, the real database, the actual data that Montgomery used was very, very detailed. Of course, I'm reporting what Mike Zullo released to me, and this is kind of a top-level summary, so that we're not releasing anything that was a security qualified or classified information. But what's clear is, and I think if you put the whole article together, that when Montgomery first brought this to our attention, it was, as Mike Zullo says, kind of a universe-shattering discovery, because when we coupled it with other information that we had, it was very clear that we were right, that there was no birth certificate in Hawaii that was legitimate. I mean, going back to the very beginning, going back to 2008, when I was in Hawaii, beginning the investigations before Obama had been elected, I was told by hospital administrators that would not go on the record that there had been an extensive search in Hawaii for which hospital had Obama's birth records. And no hospital had any birth records for Ann Dunham, the mother, or Barack Obama. That's what really started me off on this, is I realized I had legitimate information from the very beginning that the hospital administrators could not find any legitimate Obama birth certificate record. And to this day, we have seen nothing from 1991, the year of Obama's birth, that is a legitimate, provable record from Hawaii. And now we have these CIA breaches, which I think make it very clear that the CIA was in the process of looking for the birth certificate and ultimately forging it.
And so they would have known that, hey, this is our guy, we want to get him in. And it makes sense that it would be the CIA, because Ann Dunham's father was a CIA agent, working for the CIA as a furniture salesman. And then also his purported father isn't Barack Obama Sr. It was a pornographer who lived in Hawaii at the time, who has pictures of naked Ann Dunham in his house. So there's all types of...
Marshall Davis, that was all the work that Joel Gilbert did, and produced Dreams of My Real Father DVD. And for a long time, Obama was in Hawaii saying that he thought Frank Marshall Davis was his father. I mean, there's good evidence for this as well.
Right. Yeah, he was spending summers with a man named Frank, and he wrote in his book.
In his book, it was ultimately revealed in 2008 that was Frank Marshall Davis, who was a black author from Chicago who was a communist and was in Hawaii and wrote a pornographic book about trolling with women on the beach and having all these sexual affairs. And Barack Obama, for a long time himself, I think, believed that Frank Marshall Davis was his legitimate father. And I don't think there's any proof that the Kenyan Barack Obama had anything to do with Ann Dunham. They weren't living together. The records from the Immigration Naturalization Service said that they didn't believe that he was the father. They were going to contest that if Frank Marshall Davis used that information. If Barack Obama, the Kenyan, used that information to try to get his visa extended. And, we, as you read this article, we had excellent information that the searches, including by Governor Abercrombie, that were made in this vault in the Hawaii Department of Health generated no birth records, even though Abercrombie promised everybody he was going to get Obama's real birth certificate. And, we'd been tipped off that the birth certificate was going to get forged, and we were told exactly how it was going to get forged. That it was, doctor was going to be someone who was dead, and we weren't going to be able to find their records. The hospital was going to be Kapiolani. We were told great detail about what was going to happen with the forgery before it happened. But here I think you can see that in this detailed article that clearly Mike Zulu, as a law enforcement investigator, was able to validate this information from Montgomery. These were CIA breaches into the Hawaii Department of Health, and I think that's pretty startling information.
That's right, and you list in there, these are, known government IP addresses going by known CIA IP addresses that were used in the breach, and you list them here starting in November 14th, 2008, and going all the way to January 13th, 2011, and then we had the birth certificate get released in April 27th, actually. That's the day we made that video. And it's amazing. We were able to see that it was a fake and forgery right from the offset, which shows that it's hard to do these things. It's hard to go in and make these types of fakes and forgeries, even though you have, the mainstream media went along with it. They didn't do any due diligence. Had Donald Trump released something like this, they would have been video after video showing what we're showing right now, the different layers being able to be removed from a so-called single layer document.
This was, first, when Mike Zulu did the work, and Mike Zulu is really to be credited here. Was the principal investigator. I brought to him pretty much what you're showing right now as to how the birth certificate could be manipulated. This was the one released by the White House.
Yeah, Dr. Corsi, I'll let you finish up. We're about to go to break. We'll be right back. Infowars.com/show is the free stream you can send out to everybody you know you're watching.